Hey, it's me, Silver the Wag. How's it going? It's been a while, hasn't it? Since I showed up with my coffee. Um, from the bed. The channel should be called Vlogs from the Bed. No, it shouldn't. That would be strange, I guess. Uh, I'm not sure how I'll do when the weather gets like proper hot. Um, but I'm already dreading it because I don't like it. Yeah, I really, really don't like it. I hate it, actually. That's when I get the seasonal affective disorder symptoms. Um, and I know that to be a fact. It's not something that's like a proper diagnosis because they may add like a note to your file and say that hey, this person doesn't like the summer makes this person feel bad, so they belonged in the 10% who feels sad, the sad. Because yes, seasonal affective disorder, the acronym is sad, which is yeah. uh, but I do get that in the summer. I think it's most prevalent in people with mental health issues such as depression, especially. I think chronic depression should nothing should would be the one that makes you feel the worst during the summer. I guess. Um, let me pause this for a second and connect the cable. Yeah, I don't know why I say that, but yeah. The Stranger Things mug. My cousin gave it to me. It came with a little keychain. Like it's made of cloth. I don't think I will use it. So maybe I'll put it up for sale. No, I won't. I won't do that. I don't do that to gifts. Um, though I did that for one of the Wizard from the 90s books because I had two copies of the same book and one of them was like brand new because it had been a gift from an aunt of mine who didn't know that I already had the book, so that book was always kept there. Funniest thing, that book sold like quickly, immediately, almost. And it was brand new. I sold it for I think €2 or something, because I didn't think anyone would want that. But yeah, I guess I was wrong. Maybe I should have tried to charge more for it, but I didn't. Yeah, I still have the books, and I don't think I will sell them or get rid of them. And I know that reactionary people are saying that if you do that, you have blood in your hands, but like, I am trans. Those books are battered. Like, as a child, I read those books tons of times. They are battered. Some of them have food stains on them. So yeah, like chocolate and stuff. Because I would be reading and eating something. Yeah, because at the time I didn't have any issues with that. And yeah, they're all battered. Like, that's putting it lightly. But I did manage to sell the it was the Chamber of Secrets, the second one. I sold that one, which was, like I said, brand new, despite being an edition from 2003, if I'm not mistaken. And it was the 19th edition of that, so imagine how much that transphobic bastard has. Yeah. And I sold the Tales of Beetle the Bard as well. Yeah, I was a fan. Focus on the past tense. I was a fan. Mornings are for coffee and contemplation. I didn't remember that this was a sentence, a one-liner from the show. It's been a while since I've watched it. I will watch the last season of it since I watched the other ones. Since I am curious to know how they'll make the actors look younger than they are, especially 11. I mean, I guess the other ones with a bit of makeup, they'll look like teens. But yeah, Millie really doesn't look like a teen anymore. This isn't criticism on my part. She does what she likes, and I think she looks fine. I mean, she looks older than she is, but personally, I don't see anything wrong with what she did. Like, it was a decision, so yeah, it's none of my business. It's none of my business, really, and I'm just mentioning it because I'm rambling about Stranger Things now. Yeah, I enjoyed the show. The only thing that I don't like is the lazy writing. At times, like in every single season, they've like one character that everyone liked. They introduced the character at the end of the season. Boom, the character's gone, and I think that's lazy writing. That's just shock value writing, and the one that made people feel the most angry, or the angriest, was Eddie, because I think people saw themselves in Eddie. I know I did. I even made like a closet cosplay, if you understand what I mean. I just grabbed some clothes and cosplayed the character because my hair looks a bit like his, even if it's weak and shitty. And yeah, that's another point I want to like ramble about in this vlog, I guess. There's just a lot, and I know that I should take some time off to recalibrate, but I don't know when that'll happen. And this serves as a kind of therapy, like I've said previously, since I just come here and talk use my voice, vent, talk about things, stranger things. Yeah, I had some time to like calm down and stuff, and not have any public freakouts or meltdowns or stuff, anything like that. I really do not want that to ever happen on camera. So if I ever do lives again, I will have to be extremely doped up for that to happen, just in case, because yeah, I don't want to be a spectacle. And I know I've said this before, it's getting old, it's getting annoying, but I don't think it's fair to blame someone who deals with trauma-induced stress, complex trauma, for being paranoid. Especially when I have experience with being mocked and having my appearance mocked. So yeah, I really yeah, it's been rolling for a while, yeah, since the scam incident, especially, I think. But it was already happening, but that made it worse. And I hope that my voice doesn't sound annoying. I'm trying to keep it the same volume as I always speak, but I have my ears blocked. If you hear any sound in the distance, please ignore it. I just don't want to hear it. I'm sorry about it. But I don't want my voice to have that ASMR quality. I'm calling it a quality because I know a lot of people enjoy that. I personally don't, because of misophonia. It's a trigger of mine, and I know I'm not alone in that one. Like, I have sensory issues, and they're mostly related to my hearing. And yeah, the new doctor said that he referred me to an audiologist, so I'll see if that will do anything, if they'll like clean my ears or something, because there was a lot of wax in there, and I know that's because I plug my ears, so it gets impacted. That's just a consequence of doing that. I know it's not good, but it's the only thing that I can do. Like, these walls are paper thin. Not in the American sense of paper thin, because the American walls are like made of something that's this thick. I don't even know, it's drywall, I think it's called. I just know that it's the first time I saw someone like collide with one of those walls and just shatter it or poke a hole into it, I was like, how the hell do you do that? But then I realized that the wall was not made of bricks, and these walls are made of bricks, but the bricks not soundproof, and there's no insulation in this house. I don't have like soundproofing of any kind in this room. I genuinely wish I did, but I don't. Yeah, I wish I had a lot of things. And I wish I could move out and stuff, but I can't with the crisis that's been going on, and me not being able to find a job or like being paid for my work. Yeah, that's just not a thing, is it? And I know that it's not. It's the housing problem is not something exclusive to the country I live in. I think it's something that's been happening everywhere. And people like to blame immigration, but I'm just like, be serious. That's not the reason. The reason is like tourism. I don't want to say that because tourism is one of the biggest sources of income in this country, but it's true. Like a lot of people are not renting houses to people who actually live here permanently because they want to have Airbnbs and stuff like that. And you can't live in an Airbnb, can you? You can live there maybe for 3 days, 1 week. Then it gets too expensive because you pay per day. Like, of course, with rent, it's also paid per day, but yeah, it's just not feasible to live in an Airbnb, is it? Like, but yeah, that's the reason, and I hate when people go like, oh, it's the immigrants. Yeah, no, the immigrants come here to work, and a lot of them live in poor conditions. They rent an apartment, and it's like 2 bedrooms for 7 people. And yeah, the landlords, land owners don't give a damn about safety or living conditions. They just want to collect the rent at the end of the month, and they collect insane amounts of money for like a 2-bedroom apartment. Like, it's insane. It's really insane. It's really insane. No, I'm talking about housing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it makes sense because it's one of the things that's on my mind, and yeah, it comes in line with the terrible shrink experience that I had on Tuesday. There's not much to say about it, really. There really isn't. I just felt dismissed. I felt insulted too. I just felt dismissed. I felt like something the cats had dragged in. I hated it. It was one of the worst experiences. She scheduled the next appointment for August. Obviously, I'm not going. I would be caught dead before going. And I've already filed a complaint. That's probably why I feel a bit better about the whole thing. I filed a complaint. I named her too in the complaint. I said, loosely translating it, that this is this kind of professional was the reason why so many people didn't trust mental health professionals, especially state issued ones, like the other one that I had previously was taken away because they changed the rules, and yeah, his area did not include my area of residence. Like the area that was allotted to him did not include mine. So um it's insane, it's insane, really. Doesn't shut up. Doesn't shut up. This is why I don't have a voice, actually. Yeah, my mug. It's ceramic. It's ceramic. It looks like one of those enamel ones, but it's ceramic. Random tangent. Contemplation. But that doctor that I had before this one, for one, he was queer as well. And then he seemed to actually care about me. Like, I was there for maybe 1 hour in the first appointment. The get to know each other appointment. And he listened to everything, like, with care. Asked me questions. The old 9 yards. I felt like I was back in the United Kingdom. And I know that people who are still living in the United Kingdom will have a say on the state of healthcare, public healthcare, but yeah, in comparison to this, trust me, it's better. Take it from someone who has experienced both, yes. Yes, I what accent was even that? Yeah, I've not had very good experiences with healthcare professionals in this country. Aside from that one doctor and another one who was paid, but there was a program like included in his practice where he took into account people's incomes or lack thereof and charged the minimum possible. And regardless of that, the care was exceptional. So yeah, there's that. And then I had this one, was free and was the same kind of practitioner, like really cared. And even in the last appointment, which was the one where he was upset about having to leave all the patients, he didn't just have me there for maybe 15 minutes like this one. This one barely looked at my face, barely asked questions, tried to prescribe me like heavy duty medication for schizophrenia, which is something that I never exhibit any traits of. There is nobody in my family with that, and that's normally genetic. I never have hallucinations. Like when I talk about spirituality and stuff, the things that I feel are not visions, or like things like that. It's dreams. And when I touch people, sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, I feel things. But that's, yeah, it's one of those things, believe it or don't. I don't care if you believe it or not. But that's not hallucination. Because hallucination, I happen to know people who are schizophrenic. Like one of my best friends has schizophrenia. And she would have like sensory hallucinations, auditory hallucinations, and yeah, go into psychosis mode and hurt herself, which is something that I never did. Never even occurred to me. I never hallucinated. I never went into states of where I didn't remember why I was hurt. Like, there's nothing. No signs. And I have no reason to sit here and lie. It's so weird to need therapy, to need to speak about this after like meeting a shrink, a supposed professional. I honestly, and they do this, or prescribing antipsychosis medications, which by the way are very bad for the body as well. Because I take too many benzos, according to them. I mean, I know that I take more benzos than I should, but I don't really go overboard. And I have generalized anxiety, and nobody ever gave me like tools to get to a baseline when I'm triggered. Meditation doesn't work unless it's the drumming, you know. Shamanic, they call it shamanic. It sounds appropriation, but yeah, shamans existed since times immemorial, since white people were indigenous people as well, basically. And drumming is something that existed in most cultures. I would risk saying all cultures, but I'm not going to say that because, yeah, I don't like generalizations. I just know that it works with me, and the drumming really helps. Especially because those kinds of meditation don't really focus on grounding you. They, like, make you go on a journey. A mental journey, like, they play with the imagination, right? Not in a bad way. They just make you go to a happy place, is what it is. They make you think, but they basically guide you and tell you to just envision, for example, a tree, and this tree is very old, and then you go around the tree and you see a door, and now you have to get into this door, and then you go down this tree because when you get inside you realize that it's hollow, and there's light coming from above, and there's a stairwell going all the way around, and then at the bottom you see another door, and you go through that door, and then when you step out of that door, what do you see? You see another forest. And then you have to imagine this forest. They don't really tell you how these things are supposed to look. They just tell you, you see something. What is it? What does it look like? They just say, it's old. What does it look like? And basically they just comfort you by grounding you in your roots. Was my main takeaway from those meditations. And those were the only ones that worked with me, I'm afraid. Aside from the honest meditation, which you can I can link it in the description. I will link it in the description because it's really funny. I love that one. I should actually listen to it. I'm not going to play it because it has a lot of swears in it, and I don't want to fill a segment of the video with a bunch of shits and F-bombs. But all this because this rubbish shrink just got rid of me in less than 15 minutes. Like, my brother was outside and he was like, it's done? I barely had time to listen to 2 songs. And I was like, yep. And I'm not returning. Let's go. And that's what I did. It was a waste of time, it was a waste of money, but then we went to the shopping center with a friend who happened to be in the city. Not homie, but another friend. Surprisingly, I have friends. Yeah. Would be very upset with me if they knew that I wasn't really being completely honest and open like I am being right here. Because after watching the film Sinners, which I hard recommend, like, if you like the blues, if you like Michael B. Jordan, if you like good performances, if you like vampires done well, if you like history, it's a hard recommend from me. Like, definitely go watch it. I didn't know what it was about before I went there. I just read some vague posts of people saying that it was good. But I didn't know it was about the blues. When I realized it was about the blues, when I heard Delta, I was like, it's about the Mississippi Delta blues. Holy moly. And yeah, basically it was my MA dissertation in film form with vampires, and yeah, that's what it was. Um, and I felt really, it was catharsis, and I felt vindicated also because, believe it or not, when I defended my MA dissertation, um, the professor, for one, was very disrespectful because she kept speaking out of turn, like speaking over me, which is something that you shouldn't be able to do. That's why there's moderation to stop that from happening, but they didn't do anything because she kept speaking loudly and over me, and I was extremely nervous. And then at the end, to she started to imply that I was doped, which wasn't the case. Like, I had taken my medication as always, but I was extremely nervous. I was shaking. So how can you say that I was sedated when I was like this? Make it make sense. Yeah, but she essentially called electric blues white blues. And I'm looking straight at the camera this time because I remember that it's up there. She called electric blues white blues. I read a ton about the blues. I did not read that anywhere. It was extremely racist. I was shocked into silence again. Like, I was literally staring at her like this. Before I said, I didn't read white blues anywhere? What? Like, I don't want to get into spoilers in case if you watching this and you haven't watched the film Sinners yet. At the end, I was crying convulsively and I was having a full-blown reaction. I couldn't even move my hands because I was crying so much. It was that good. It was that good. But at the end, when the character says, yeah, yeah, like the electric stuff, but it's not like the original stuff, is it? And the other character is like, nah. And then he pulls out an acoustic guitar and plays the original stuff, like the acoustic blues. And I was like, yeah, that's the shit. That's the shit. Because, yeah, and it was funny because he said that the recordings from that time were rubbish. And I was like, oh god, that's so true. Because when I was doing my dissertation, of course, I had to listen to a lot of music from that time because I was especially focusing on the Mississippi Delta blues, like the birthplace of the classic blues. And I had to listen to those scratchy records, and god, they just listen to them. It's bad. It's really bad, and the problem is really that it's hard to like reproduce that feeling, the sentiment from that time period. Like, yeah, there are some people who still have it. But yeah, it's hard to reproduce that. And when the character asks the other one to play the original stuff with the acoustic guitar, and he's like, yeah, that's the stuff. I was like, yeah, that's the stuff. Getting emotional again because, yeah, it's a wild film. but it plays on a lot of history, and it's pretty accurate, and I enjoyed especially that they didn't just write off um, African beliefs and mysticism as superstition. I enjoyed that. Like, blues was called the devil's music, right? That's the thing. But the truth about that is that most people who said they made their pact with the devil to play so well were just black people who didn't want to just admit to the racist white people that, yeah, I'm just a talented musician. That's basically what they were. They were talented musicians. And in the film, there's a line. This isn't really a spoiler. Like, this is history. You can watch Little Richard interviews and hear the same things. There's a line where one character says that white people love the music, they just don't like who plays it. And yeah, that's not a spoiler. That really isn't not a spoiler. You can watch Little Richard interviews, and there's a documentary directed by Martin Scorsese, if I'm not mistaken, where he goes insane style. Little Richard was one of those, and that rest his soul. He was one of those people who just did not leave anything unsaid. He said everything, and this is getting long again. Let me pause and stretch my legs. Here I am. Pull the computer just a little closer. Not because I want you to see my face, but because I want like the microphone to like capture my voice. I was talking about the documentary. I'm not sure what it's called now. Gosh, I didn't do the breathing exercises yet either. So let's do the quick search here at the cover. Let's do that. The blues. Scorsese. Yeah, it's called. It's simply called The Blues. And it is directed by Martin Scorsese. It's from 2003. And yeah. Maybe you can watch it on some paid service, or you can try to find it on some website. Yeah. And I can tell you that you'll see B.B. King, God rest his soul. So I'm really sad about it. because yeah, it was alive during my lifetime. Also was Little Richard, but I never got the chance to see them live. There's one point where even Clint Eastwood appears, and I know Clint is not a widely loved person because of, you know, past racism. But yeah, is one is this is kind of a joke, but is my emotional support a Republican. Yeah, Clint Eastwood shows up in one of the episodes. Yeah, Martin Scorsese also shows up. Mm. Nathaniel Lee Jr. shows up as well. Eric Clapton shows up. Nick Cave shows up as well. Elvis Costello. Ray Charles is mentioned, obviously. I mean, when did he die? When did he die? Now let's see if this shows. Yeah, he died 1 year later. Oof. Scorsese really was on the pulse of it, literally. Lou Reed shows. Beck. Van Morrison is there as well. I think he's still alive. I'm not. It's no, not the wall. The still alive and kicking. And you'll notice that in this documentary it's like a tribute to the blues, because a lot of these people are not blues. You wouldn't associate them with the blues, but they were heavily inspired by the blues. There's even Bonnie Raitt. Yeah, Los Lobos also appear. There's the band as well. I think the band is mentioned. The band called The Band. And there's a lot of old footage of famous blues people. So yeah, it's definitely a big recommendation if you're into the blues. If you go watch Sinners, I definitely recommend this documentary. Like, it's just a couple of episodes. How many episodes does it have? I watched it because I had the box set of the documentary that I borrowed from my professor. It has 7 episodes. Yeah, it has 7 episodes. I feel like going home. The Soul of a Man. The Road to Memphis. Warming by the Devil's Fire. See. Godfathers and Sons. Red, White and Blues. Piano Blues. Yeah, this is the one where Clint Eastwood shows up. It's the last one. But yeah, my dissertation, my main point in my dissertation was that the blues was the bedrock of most modern music, most modern pop music, and this racist professor didn't think that was true, and I had to say, yeah, just look at the music that's popular. I have nothing else to say. Like, after the blues came electric blues, which was rock and roll, right? And that's not white blues. Rock and roll was developed by black people as well. Like, the people who popularized electric blues were people like Muddy Waters and Sister Rosetta Tharpe. Rosetta Tharpe, I think it's pronounced like that. I'm sorry. Who, yeah, and it's something that you'll notice that blues people oscillated between gospel and you know, music that makes you feel happy, basically. Like, the blues isn't blues. My point in my dissertation was that blues meant emotions, right? Blues was emotions. So everyone has the blues. And in this context, the blues just meant it was the music, but it also meant the emotions. Because, yeah, I got the blues. Usually, when people say that, they mean that they're sad. But blues isn't necessarily sad music. And, you just have to look at, for example, John Lee Hooker, Muddy Waters, even the infamous Robert Johnson, and you'll see some similarities between the main character, the amazing guitarist, in the film if you decide to watch it. I will warn that it's a heavy film and it's got some thriller elements. I wouldn't say it's a horror film, but it's got some thriller moments, and yeah, it's heavy. It's really heavy. It's I wasn't crying for no reason. The boy is kind of inspired by Robert Johnson, in my opinion. Like, the way is shown and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of reminiscent of Robert Johnson and all the other things about the devil and stuff. Yeah. And like I said, I was saying that the blues was the bedrock, and when that scene came, maybe it's a bit of a spoiler, but it's not exactly a spoiler because it shows. It's right at the beginning of the film that the music, when it's good, it has the power to summon the future, summon the past. It has the power to connect everything. And when he plays, you see all the children of the blues, like the electric blues, modern music like rap, DJs, all that stuff. And it's amazing. There's even someone twerking. Like, it's amazing. It really is amazing. And yeah, I'm rambling. Yeah, let's call it. It's my main dissertation. I mean, I worked on this for a long time. I know a lot about it. But twerking isn't just something that it's not a modern invention. It came from Africa. And it really did come from Africa. If I manage to find that video, I will link it as well. I don't remember which one was. The honest meditation. Yes, that one. I will link that one. But if I manage to find the video of the ladies twerking in Africa, like in a rural context in Africa, you'll see what I mean. It's so hot. Well, I mean, it's been almost an hour, so. Contemplation. See, I made myself feel a bit better just by talking, and also talking about something I liked. Yeah, but when did BB King pass away? In 2015. Yeah, I remember that. I remember when I heard it, I was really sad. What did Eric Clapton think of BB King? He loved them. Eric Clapton was one of the people who really wanted to make sure that everyone knew where his music came from. Okay, but let's, before this gets to 1 hour, let's do some breathing exercises. One breathing exercise, and I'll finish my coffee right now. Maybe afterwards. I'm gross. I'm sorry. But let's do the 4-7-8. Breathe in 4, hold for 7, breathe out 8. And with this particular one, you hold the air in your lungs because it's not long.
Relax and get comfortable. Focus on your breathing. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. 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 Well done.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here. If you made it this far, thanks a lot. Thank you also for 63 subs. Never expected that. That's a crowd. But yeah, I hope that tomorrow is good for you and that you've been doing well. This is 1 hour long. I'm so sorry. I hope it shrinks it to less than that. But yeah, contemplation. But I'll be back. That's a threat.